Today, I'm going to teach you 5 common English reductions, which is something many English learners really want to learn. So I will talk about that with you coming right up. Welcome to today's lesson, which is a pronunciation lesson because I am going to talk to you about 5 common reductions in English. And I think a lot of people would like to learn more about reductions, or they're interested in learning about them because it helps people reduce their accent, and it's not only good for speaking, but it's also very important for listening as well. Oftentimes learners want to try and identify each and every single word, and it makes the task more challenging instead of just trying to comprehend the main idea. So this is not only good for speaking, but it's also important for listening so that you have a better understanding of the conversation and what the other person is talking about. And the reason that I think people use reductions is it's just something that comes naturally. I think this is common in all languages when people are speaking fast and the words kind of just run together. Now, the one thing that I want to tell you about reductions, and this is a pet peeve of mine, this is only for speaking, all right? Please do not write these reductions. I know that you see this done all the time. You get text messages, we're using reductions, you see it on Facebook and on the internet. But a good rule of thumb, a good practice is just not to write these reductions. The reason for this is because I think some learners don't always make the distinction between what is accepted in informal writing and then their formal writing. So they might end up using and writing these reductions at school in academic papers or writing them at work in a business email, and it is just not professional. It's not something that you want to get into the habit of doing. So please do not write these reductions. This is just for speaking and listening. The first 2 reductions that I want to go over with you are 2 that you have probably heard, and maybe you even use them as well, and that is gonna and wanna. They sound like one word that would have 2 syllables, and the stress is on the first syllable. Gonna, wanna. That second syllable has the schwa, that sound, which is a reduced vowel sound. And also notice there is no T sound in 2. It basically goes from that N sound, that N, straight into the schwa. Na, gonna, wanna. First, let's talk a little bit more about going to, which is reduced as gonna. Now, we use this when we're talking about something that we are going to do, and it's used with the verb to be. So we have our subject, and then the verb to be, plus going to, plus the base verb. So for example, I could say, I am going to play soccer. I'm going to play soccer. I am going to give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to give this video a thumbs up. So remember, going to, when it's reduced, is followed by a base verb. Going to play, gonna play. Going to dance, gonna dance. Going to go, gonna go. Be aware that if going to is followed by a noun, as in we're talking about a place that we are going to go, then it is not reduced. So for example, I am going to school. Going to is followed by the noun school, so we are not going to reduce that. We do not say, I'm gonna school. No. In order for it to be reduced, it has to be followed by a base verb. Gonna walk, gonna dance, gonna sing, gonna play, gonna sleep, gonna run, I don't know what I'm gonna do later. I really don't know. Don't know what I'm gonna do. So let's practice saying some sentences. Joanna is going to say the sentence with the reduction, and you can just repeat after her. This is good practice.
We're gonna watch a movie tonight. We're gonna watch a movie tonight. Were you gonna help me with the project? Were you gonna help me with the project?
Here are some other examples of going to getting reduced to gonna. So see if you can listen for it.
I'm gonna go.
Oh no, Dawson. Just gonna watch TV tonight.
Hey! Hey, who gonna clean up all these flowers?
I'm gonna clean up this town.
He thinks we're gonna skip practice today.
Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight? Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight!
Let's have a look at want to, wanna. Now we use this and reduce want to when the verb want is followed by the infinitive, which is to plus the base verb. For example, want to eat. I want to eat pizza tonight. Want to travel. We want to travel to Brazil. Want to share. Do you want to share this video? Sure you do. Want to do something. What do you want to do? Now, keep in mind, we can't reduce want to if the subject is in the third person and we're using he, she, or it. This is because when our subject is he, she, or it, we have to put an S on the end of want so that it becomes wants. So the subject and the verb agree. Now, wants to, we cannot reduce that. You just have to say wants to. He wants to play soccer. She wants to study English. Let's practice a few more sentences using this reduction. Once again, Ioana is going to say the sentence and you can repeat it after her out loud.
I want to buy some new shoes. I want to buy some new shoes. We want to get out of here. We want to get out of here. Do you want to take a break? Do you want to take a break?
Now here are a few more examples using this reduction in different contexts and situations.
So where do you want to go?
You guys, you wanna play? No? Anybody? You wanna play? What about you?
I want to eat those brownies.
What's up? You wanna dance?
Yeah. So you want to play?
We want to buy the Russell.
Oh, you wanna be friends, huh?
The next two reductions I want to talk to you about are has to, and have to, have to. Now, these reductions also sound like they may be one word with two syllables. And again, the stress is on the first syllable, and the second syllable is once again reduced with that schwa sound, that sound. Has to, have to. In these reductions, you do hear that T sound, that t at the end. So you're going to say has to. You're going to use your tongue and press it to the top part of your mouth, and that's going to stop the air flowing out. Has. Once you stop it, then you just make that T sound. Has to. The same with have to. You're making that F sound and you are blocking the flow of air with your tongue. Push it up against the top part of your mouth. Have to. Have to. Have to. Now, when you say the reduction, it all happens very fast, but you should feel your tongue touching the top of your mouth and blocking that flow of air as you make that T sound. Has to, have to, has to, have to, has to, have to. Now, we use these reductions, has to and have to, when they are modal verbs and we're talking about an obligation, something that you have to do. And when the subject is I, you, we, they, you're going to use have. For example, tomorrow I have to get up early. Why? Because I have to go to the dentist. Because I have to take care of my teeth. These are obligations. These are things that I have to do. Has to is the same, except we're going to use it with the subjects he, she, or it. So for example, I could say that he has to study for the exam. Maybe he has to study because his parents think that he has to go to a good university. But he didn't study, and because of that, he has to stay up all night. Has to, has to. Here are some more example sentences using has to and have to. Again, have fun, say them out loud. You don't have to say them, but I think you should.
She has to give a presentation next week. She has to give a presentation next week. I have to cook dinner for everyone. I have to cook dinner for everyone. Do we have to go tonight? Do we have to go tonight? It has to be right now. It has to be right now.
And now I want you to listen how these reductions, has to and have to, are being used in these examples.
I have to go.
You'll have to wait.
I have to pee.
You don't have to run.
Saturday. Well, I have to reschedule.
He has to die.
Nobody has to know.
Kitty has to go.
Someone has to lose.
He knows he has to take us out to win, right?
Something terrible has to happen.
The final English reduction I want to tell you about is got to, gotta. This also would have two syllables with the stress on the first syllable, and the second syllable would have the schwa. Now the T, and this is especially important in American English, the way Americans talk, it has that flap T sound, which is like a light D. And this is what happens when the T falls in the middle of the word. So for example, look at these words. The T is in the middle, which will sound more like a D sound. Metal, water, city. And got to is no different. The T is in the middle, so Americans would tend to use the flap T, which makes it sound like gotta. This is reduce, got to, when it is a modal verb used with have. So have got to. It's again talking about an obligation. I have got to. And it's definitely reduced when have is contracted with the subject. I have got to, I've gotta. I've got to study tonight. I've got to work harder. I've got to think of some more sentences. This is also true with has if the subject is he, she, it. He has got to, he's gotta. She has got to, she's gotta. She's got to go to work early tomorrow. He's got to be on time. She's got to clean the apartment. He's got to study harder. We could also drop have and just say gotta. And this is definitely more informal and commonly used in more colloquial speech when you're just having a conversation with somebody talking about something that you gotta do or I gotta do. So for example, here are a few things that you've gotta do. First, you gotta keep practicing your English skills. Second, you gotta watch these lessons. Finally, you gotta join our social media classes. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a great way to keep practicing. And for your practicing pleasure, here are some more sentences using this reduction. So you gotta repeat these sentences, and you gotta say them out loud.
You gotta tell me the truth. You gotta tell me the truth. They've gotta be more careful. They've got to be more careful. You got to help me with my homework. You got to help me with my homework.
And now let's listen to gotta being used in different contexts.
Gotta read, 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 gotta read.
Wow, I feel the exact opposite.
You gotta give me some answers.
I'm gonna do something. Won't.
We gotta split.
I gotta go.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. You gotta.
Well, you gotta. I got it.
I hope you guys have a better understanding about how to use these reductions, and also maybe it'll help you when you are listening for them as well. Remember, don't write them. This is only for speaking. So now we want to hear from you. And what you got to do is write to us in the comments and let us know what kind of English lesson you would like. What are you having trouble with? What would you like to see more of? What would you like to learn? We like hearing from you guys, so let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. So stick around. Oh, gosh, I can't forget. I can't. Welcome to today's, what was I wanting to talk about? Today's lesson, which is a pronunciation. Here's some more. I don't know what I'm saying with this.